MAS is having huge improvement this week. So we make a new deep research, but we enrich that as an example so that we can have to show you how we build a multi-agent system. I'm going to go through to you like what is the step to work with MAS and what is our experience making the system. Alright, so I will show you how MAS research works. This is basic, the deep research, but right now we are making it more robust. So let me show you how is it going to work first. So for example, like this one is the run history on the right hand side. So right now it's more clean. It will split by days. So you can see all of the run of your workforce at once when you're visiting. When you are visiting this one, you will see that there's a work that have been done, so it will be triggered by a member. Like this is a very complicated deep research question, like historical evaluation, how society was perceived, manage attention. Well, I cannot answer this one, but we can have a team. So this one on the right hand side is a preview of the timeline of how each agent is working together. So you can just say it's timeline where you are issuing the trigger, and then the first agent, there's a small issue. So this is the first agent, this agent. Deep research clarify with user. So this agent will like verification, and then it will provide an update. The reason why it have the UI JSON here because we're not like passing the data correctly, but technically it will show something like this, a block like this, and then it will rewriting my research query into something that more structured, and then after that it will hand over to a research agent that going to do the research, and this is going to be first call, second call, and third call. And this one, after it has been running, it will provide an update like evolution of attention, and it will give the result in here. And this blue part, this is we call human in the loop. So human in the loop is when the agent finish his first of the task already, you can give your command in here, and it will trigger another round. So the entire workforce on the left is actually the way that you configure for that team to do. And so when you are asking some follow-up question and so on, that team will do the work again, and then they will follow your structure in order to have that. And some of the area that we are going to do is we will allow you to kind of creating a proactive human in the loop. So for example, like it will stop and it will prompt to the user that, hey, I need some help on this one. Can you give me some suggestion? So this is useful in case that you have very complicated workflow that will require human approval, or maybe you're presenting option A or option B, and then human will need to go and approve that. Because in our case, we will make a kind of like a activity monitor page where we are listing all of the work that the agent is doing. So each of these one is one of the tasks that you assign to your team to do. This is not a human team, it's an AI team. But we will kind of like a flag in here, and we will split between need attention and everything else. So need attention is going to be the threat of the action that require you to make some action in here. And I think I trust this a bit, and this is quite good. I think right now the multi-agent system is more robust right now. When I asking it to research about PixelML, which is my company, and it will actually find out all the information. And there's some error in display, but what it can do is it can show what we are doing, like image generation, video generation, QR code art, text, agentic AI workflow, which is AgenticFlow, of course. And it can do some financial performance. Oh shit, did I exposing some financial? Oh, no. Okay, good. But anyway, it have been digging down, and it finding this product that we have already sunset since last year. But it still show up, and it's actually able to identify us as a positioning, user review, competitive landscape, and so on. So let me show you how we build this multi-agent system. Okay. So the multi-agent system starting with a trigger node. So right now the trigger node is only like accepting the user message, but near future, we will allowing to accept like webhook or schedule it. That is easy, but everything is going to start with a trigger node. Okay, so after this, it will have an edge. So edge is something like the connection type. So the connection type is, so when you are looking in here, and you will see that after this one, then it do what? So it will hand over to the deep research clarity with user. And because this edge is say next step, so it means after trigger, it go directly to here. And when you click on this agent, and there will be two parts that you should be aware of. One is the input and one is the setting. So these two tabs is split for their own reason. Okay, setting is something that on the agent itself. So because this agent was created outside of the workforce, so it means this agent have already configured like instruction, like just you are helpful assistant, and it can have its own skill and knowledge and so on. But that's okay. So whatever that in the setting is with the agent. So this data is going to be configurable, and if you modify this data, maybe the agent behavior when it's working alone is also changed. So please be aware of that. And secondly is the input. So input is just imagine. So when users are outside, like if I click on this one and I create new message, and this message like hello world, this hello world message is actually passing into this variable message state dot variable. So it means you can using this one to instruct the deep research clarity with user on how to behave when incoming message coming in. So this is config at the workforce level, because we don't want to mess up with the system instruction in here, because maybe you will employ this agent in multiple teams, and one team it can be working in this behavior, and one team want to work in the other behavior. So you don't want to modify the core skill or instruction of that agent, but you want to modify the like on-site instruction. Like you are working in the marketing team, so this is how you behave. And if you're working in a sales team, and this is how you behave. And input message is the way that you are configuring your agent, how it will behave in the workforce, in a team as a whole. Okay, so right now there is only one configuration, which is a message, but we are also having other configuration as well. Like what are the types of message it will return? Would that be like a normal plain text message, or it can be like a structured JSON output, or something other as well? So basically, this is something that this is very powerful. I need to write docs about this, but please understand this one. And in here there will be some other button that you can use. You can copy node ID, you can delete it, or you can click on this one. It will open your original agent that you config, and you can using this one to modify. And just be mindful that if you modify here, then any agent or workforce that using this agent is going to be impacted. Okay. So after this one, so giving the deep research, for example, then after we clarify with user. So let me see in here. So when we are prompting to the agent, we are saying that, okay, you are the deep research support. You need to clarify with the user, and you are only ask another question if absolutely necessary. And if it is acronym and abbreviation, you should ask the question. So blah, blah, and blah, blah. So basically, this is you are instructing this agent how it will behave when there's an incoming message. But after this one, it will having split in condition. Okay, so this is where it's interesting. So you can click on this edge, and this is a connection type. So this is also the same type as the edge above, but this is, instead of next step, it is going to be condition. Condition mean you can use in order to describe like a state node output, clarify with user, which is you are referring to this one, and need clarification or not. So this is the variable that we config, and right now we are still not yet making the UI that you can select the input, but we definitely make it in a week or two. But basically, you are based on the output variable from this agent, and you can decide whether you're going to assign that output into the RIP agent, or you are going to do it again. So you will having a new node that's called state modifier. Basically, it is kind of like in our case, it was saying like I need to clarify with user again, and then you will just appending the method of user into this value, and then it can be reused in the later stage. Okay, so for this one, we will have a documentation to how to use this node. But basically, after the research brief agent is receiving the task from the planner, then it will start to create a brief. And in this research brief, also there will be two components that you are having. One is the setting of the research brief agent, and secondly is the input message, where you are using that to configure the behavior that happen on the team. So this one is for itself, like personal. Okay, the agent has personal personality. Okay, and for the input is like how it adapt into a team. Okay, so I think this is how we can have it. So in the setting, you will see that it have its own tool and workflow and so on. But in the input, you can also behave on this one, and you will get the state message, which is this one, the message from input of the user, and you put it like today is a day, so it will get the current day, so that it will search for relevant information, and then it will return a single research question that will be used to guideline research, and it's going to be like, what is the guideline? Number 1, you do this. Number 2, you do this, and so on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. So this is how this research brief agent is going to work. And after this research brief agent finish his task, then it will having the next action, which is connection type. This is next step, because in here we have no condition. Okay, and this condition is kind of like allow you to make decision between like whether you would like to clarify user more, or you can continue on this part. If there is no thing to clarify, then we just move to the next step, which is the supervisor agent. So in this supervisor agent, we are going to have its own of the information as well, and it will have the research supervisor. Your job is blah blah and blah blah. And then it will be able to take the input, which is the last message. Okay, so if you read this one, it will be like state.node_output.research brief node and last message. This one is not so clean. I mean, it's still like clunky, but we will make it as a selectable output. So you just understand that this supervisor is actually taking output from this research brief and as an input to it, and it will proceed that with the system prompt that you can configure in here, all of this one. And if you would like to add more sub-agent to the supervisor, you can also do this as well. So for example, you click on the add sub-agent, and then you can add some researcher agent to that, and it will just here, and you can add multiple research agent, copy, and so this supervisor is having two research assistant, and it will be able to handle. And when there's an input message from the research brief, it will cascading down to this team. So you can using this one in order to make it like a department. So for example, like the research brief agent is going to already have the plan, and then it will hand over to a team of the researcher that's going to do the research. And after this team have been done on this one, and it will go to the next step, so which is this edge. So this edge is going to having another agent that doing the deep research final report. Okay, if you click on this one, and you see that this is the input of the behavior that we are expecting deep research final report agent to do. Okay, we will tell it based on all the research conducted. Please have to do this one. So this is the research brief, and this is the overall message that original that user was triggering from here, and then blah blah and blah blah and blah blah, and then even like the citation rules. What is the citation rule look like? And then you can configure that in here so that the deep research final report agent can actually using that in order to produce the final citation. Okay, and you can absolutely you can equip to the final report agent have some other tool as well. So for example, like output to a Google Sheet, or maybe create a PDF and send email to someone. That's easy. So that will belong into the personality and skill of that single agent. But in the input, it was kind of like how you behave in a team environment. And you will take the task from this department and you will do something on your side, and that's that. And the output is this. Let me close this one. Where you have a file research paper with historical following all of the steps and with the site of all of the sources that multi-agent system that doing the deep research. So we make this one as an example so that you can use and you can kind of like experimenting how everything is work together in multi-agent system. So later we are going to publishing this multi-agent in here in the template so that you can just click on replay and then you just duplicate this one. So that's going to be number 1 of the MAS template that we are providing. We still have 4 more to go until the end of the month, and we hope that it will have you some understanding of how to work with the multi-agent system. And any question, just ask. Okay. And next one. Okay. Because we are talking about multi-agent system and the new UI, which I'm so excited about. So I'm going to show you a sneak peek of what we are building for UI number 2, the version 2. Okay. So what you are seeing in here, even though it is recognizable and everything, but it is the UI version 1. And version that, let me go into this one. Okay. So this is a new UI where you have the start node that's organized. Maybe this one, it can be touchpad friendly or mouse friendly. And you can zoom in, you can click, you can edit title, create, copy, delete. You can modify and edit, enter the message here, reset brief node, and so on. You can add all other nodes. So right now we are just having 2 nodes, which is agent and LM, but we are going to make loop, condition, even like wait and modify, even like 10,000 MCP tool, it's going to be accessible on this infinite canvas that you can use, because we believe that multi-agent system is so powerful that our current workflow UI is not able to complete this one. So that's why we decide that we take time to make this one. And yeah, of course, you can using fit view, you can have a mini map, you can search around so that you can easy to navigate. You can even like do some back and forth, so that you can even lock to read only, like this. Yeah, and there's some part in here as well, like you can change. If you don't like the curly message, you can just change into this one. Yeah, so this is the version 2 of the UI. So we already incorporate that into AgenticFlow, and next week we will adapt it into multi-agent system, and you will be able to see dramatically increase in the user experience with this one. Yeah, thanks for this. Yeah, I am also very excited about the version 2 of the UI. So the workflow graph, so this is a great idea, I would say. But I think for now, we will still focus on MAS first, because the workflow and agent and multi-agent system actually totally different. So if we like to make workforce to backward compatible back into the workflow, actually we need to redo the workflow from graph with this one. If I make custom layout, it will store your position of exactly node. So when you are putting it there, it will show up there exactly. Yeah, so we storing the positioning of the node. So if you are would like to arrange it in the way that you like, it will showing exactly the way it is. And because we aiming that to have the how should I say, the left and the right will be sync. So actually we are aiming that when that an agent is providing update, on the left hand side it will like light up, so that you can actually see the debugging of the flow of the data, actually how the data is flowing in, and which agent is processing, and how long does it take, what are the messages that it take, and even like we can drill down into API code, then how long does it take to code into OpenAI, maybe latency. so that you can switch between model. For example, instead of like this one, instead of using this model, oh, I think we forgot to update the model here, but we will allow you to switch the model of the agent in Workforce so that you can trial and test. You can see like maybe for this brief agent, I don't need GPT-5. I just need GPT 4o mini because it's cheap and fast for this one. But for supervisor, because it is very expensive and it needs to think a lot. So I need to using a very good model. So in a deep research agent, actually we also exploring that, and we will allow you to do configuration. So for your entire team, you will be able to configure each of the action. We call it node actually. So what this is a node, this is a node, and this is a node. And even like Google search is also can be a node as well. So you can plug Google search in here. It can be tool, trigger, and state modifier. You can just click node in here, and then you can just put that. Where is that? Okay. So we call this tool. So it means your agent, after doing the research, it can code some workflow that you are predefined in here, and you can keep going on and on and on. And this tool doesn't have to be powered by LM. It can be just price checking, ChatGPT, web search, Google Drive, or calling an internal API. So multi-agent system is going to expanding the ability that you can have different agents to work together with a workflow or the tool that you're creating. And yeah, I think after this stabilize and so on, maybe we will have some capacity in order to improve other UX and so on. And if there's some chance that we can make backward compatible with the current workflow, we will evaluate that. Okay. Right. So what else? I think that's it. Workforce is something that we are really into at the moment. Yeah. So just repeat. The go live is extended until the end of August. So you will have until end of September for worry-free experimenting, and there will be no problem with like the refund windows and so on. So I hope that you will able to see the version 2 of our UI before you make the final decision. I hope that that makes sense to you.